Hi everyone, welcome to our Books at Bedtime session here at Ashbourne Library. This week we're going to be reading chapters from My Brother's Famous Bottom. It's by Jeremy Strong and it's by Puffin Books. The book is about a family, and the blurb on the back says, Nicola's dad has a plan to make some fast cash. Nappies, some disposable nappy people are looking for a beautiful body for their new advert, and all Nicola's baby's brother has to do is pass the audition. What could possibly go wrong? So if you're ready, we're going to start. The big plan. My dad's got a big plan. He told us all about it at a special family meeting. All of us were there, Mum, Dad, Granny and her husband. Lancelot, me and the twins, even though there were only one and a bit. Dad banged his big spoon on the table to get our attention and made his announcement. We need a big plan, he told us. A big flan, dear, said Granny. She's a bit deaf and she gets the wrong ideas sometimes. What kind of flan? Strawberry. I like strawberry flan. As long as it's not gooseberry or marmite. Granny pulled a face. Marmite flan is horrible. I stared at Granny. What was she going on about? It's nothing to do with flans, shouted Dad. I said we need a big plan. Oh, smiled Granny. I thought a big flan seemed silly, but then so many of your ideas are silly, aren't they, Ron? You're so kind, Mother dear, Dad said icily. Mum sighed. Dad frowned and pulled at his beard. We have money problems, and the money problem is we don't have any. We've nothing in the bank. In fact, we've less than nothing in the bank. Dad, how can you have less than nothing, I asked. It's called an overdraft, Nicholas, Lancelot explained. It means your mum and dad owe the bank money. Exactly, grunted Dad. It's because cheese and tomato cost so much. Mum glared at Dad. How many times do I have to remind you that the twins are called James and Rebecca, not cheese and tomato? Granny shook her head. I don't know what the fuss is about. After all, they were born in the back of a pizza delivery van. You should see the faces my friends pull when I tell them that my two newest grandchildren are called cheese and tomato. I don't want your friends pulling faces, snapped Mum. Grannies are supposed to say nice things like coochie coochie coo to babies, not, oh, cheese and tomato, my favourite, yum yum. Whatever they're called, they cost too much, grumbled Dad. They eat too much. They need too many clothes, and they go through far too many nappies. They're costing us a fortune. They can't go round without clothes or nappies, Ron, Mum pointed out. I know that. I'm simply saying that we need to do something. So, have you got an idea for a big plan? Asked Mum. Dad smiled triumphantly. I have. In fact, I've thought of several ways we can either make money or save money. No wonder Mum looked worried. Dad's plans for anything usually led to trouble. Okay, he announced. Here's my first idea for making money. We sell the twins. You can't sell cheese James and Rebecca, protested Mum. It's only a suggestion, said Dad hastily. Don't get your knickers in a twist. I can see you don't like that plan and I'm not very fond of it either. So here's my second idea. We sell Nicholas. Dad, I yelled. You don't like that either? Okay, quieten down. You'll love this next one, I promise. Idea number 3, we sell Granny. Oh, for heaven's sake, Ron, will you stop trying to sell off the entire family and come up with some halfway decent suggestion? And you can stop looking at me like that. I am not up for sale. Dad glanced around the table. He flashed his eyebrows up and down. Do stop grinning like that, said Granny. You look like a cannibal wondering how tasty we might be to eat. What an excellent idea, said Dad. That would save us buying food for ages. We could eat each other. Who will we start with? You, everybody shouted in chorus. Ah, Dad gave a startled jump back. All right, I get the message. Quieten down and listen because I do actually have a big plan. We're going to start a farm. Chapter 2, What Do Cows Lay? My dad's always thinking up fantastic ideas, and I thought this was one of his best. The others didn't seem nearly as excited as I was, though. They just stared at him in stunned silence. Phew, you'll need more than a bit of dosh to start a farm, Lancelot pointed out. And I don't want to move house, said Mum. I like this house. Me too, I murmured under the table. I crossed my fingers. I didn't want to move. No, protested Dad. We're staying right here. This place will be the farm. That's the most stupid idea you've ever come up with, declared Mum. We could have a mini farm, Dad pressed, with just a few animals, and we could grow our own vegetables. That's what we did in the war, said Granny. We'd such fun. I was only a little girl, of course, but we had vegetables and chickens and rabbits. That's it, nodded Dad. We're going to grow as much of our own food as possible. In fact, I should grow some chickens too. Mum rolled her eyes. You can't grow chickens. Yes, you can, said Dad. You plant eggs and they grow into chickens. And you have to pick them before their legs get too long and they run away. See, I said, Dad has fantastic ideas. He's great. Anyhow, Dad went on, the chickens will lay lots of eggs. And we could have a cow. What do cows lay, Brenda? Cowpats, said Mum. And you're talking nonsense. The garden's too small for a cow. How about a goat then? We could get a small goat and every morning you could go out and shake it and get butter from it and cheese and milk and cream. You've some very strange ideas about farming, said Mum. Come to think of it, you have very strange ideas about everything. All part of my charm, smiled Dad. I know how to milk a cow, announced Lancelot. Granny patted his arm. Lancelot is very clever with his hands, she said. We're not having a cow, repeated Mum. Lancelot nodded. I know, but it works on goats too. I could teach Nicholas how to milk the goat. Oh, I don't want to milk goats. Lancelot and I could take the milk to our house and make it to yoghurt and cheese, suggested Granny. You should have some sheep, said Lancelot. You could knit things then. I think chickens and a goat will be quite enough to start with, Mum murmured. Are we really going to get chickens and goats and everything? I asked, getting quite excited. Oh, yes, said Dad, and a rhinoceros. Mum sighed. Just ignore him, Nicholas. Yes, ignore me, Nicholas. Go and dig the vegetable patch instead. Did I say my dad's great? I've changed my mind. Sometimes he can be very ungreat. And before you do any digging, you can change the baby's nappies, smiled Mum. Thank you, I scowled. I'm just your slave, really, aren't I? Yes, they answered. I turned round to find the twins, and of course they'd vanished, hadn't they? They're always disappearing. I think they do it deliberately. I tracked Cheese down eventually in Mum and Dad's bed. He was pulling Dad's pyjama trousers over his head, saying, Big dark, nighty-nighty. And what about Tomato? She was sitting in Mum and Dad's wardrobe on a second shelf. The second shelf. How on earth did she get up there? She was pulling out Mum's T-shirts and throwing them all over the floor. So not only did I end up changing their nappies, I had to tidy the bedroom too. And put everything back. Like I said, I'm just a slave, really. Anyhow, I'm really excited about the farm. It's going to be brilliant.